doesn't matter. I'm just gonna record and talk about it. So yeah, in this video, I want to try to actually go into a bit more detail about why I think Exodia is just better going second versus every other deck which prefers to go first. Now, the main idea with going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that you're able to go through your full combo, you set up your board, if you're playing a trap deck, you're able to set all your traps that you're going to need, and all that stuff. You know, fairly important things that you're going to need to play the game. However, Exodia really can't do that because of this card right here, Millennium Ankh. Because right here, you then shuffle the face-up monster cards you control into the deck, except Exodia monster cards, who are level 10 or higher, and Millennium monsters. Because that's and you also cannot special summon anymore for the rest of the turn. Yeah, right. Also, yeah. So it's a very restricted spell card. Like, the only other card I can even think of that would be comparable would be Red Eye's Fusion, which means you can't special summon at all that turn, before or after you activate this. But at least if you were to say, like, do a whole bunch of normal summonings, you can then build a board. Or if, say, you used Predaplant for Anaconda, you could sit Red Eye's Fusion to then only be under Predaplant's lock and get your Red Eye's Fusion out. This guy is technically not a fusion card. It's basically like instant fusion. It technically cheats out Exodia from the extra deck. It's not a proper fusion card. So it wouldn't work. So that makes it super restricted. And because you can't build up any board, so the only board that you could really have would be Exodia, maybe Obliterate, Exiled Fire's Rage, and a lot of people will go into a Cellar Hat Rabbit for Azrune. You can do that as well and get another form of interruption, but you're not getting a lot. Most boards are able to play around those like few interactions, right? So it makes it difficult to really get your footing in, and that's kind of what Exodia needs. Once you get your foot in the door, it's really hard to get it out. But so that's what I'm doing. That's what I want to try to do with going second, because with like Super Polymerization or Lava Golem and the Kaiju's, your opponent can't respond to that or interact with that at all, so you have free reign to just be able to pick apart the board of what is the worst, and to then be able to clear the way so that Exodia can safely hit the board. And by that point, Exodia with an Exiled Fire's Rage is more than enough to be able to finish up anything else your opponent has left. Plus, then even after you activate Exodia, if say on the next turn you still need more assistance, well, you aren't under any locks from the Millennium Monster, so you can go into any Link monster you want. Like, you can go into SB Little Knight. None of the levels are the same, so going into any sort of Xyz is difficult, but if you have two of the same, they can go into an Xyz monster as well. So yeah, you got a lot more utility when you go second. You're able to choose how you want to go about it easier, because you can't really, like I said, you can't really build a board going first, but being able to break apart a board is much easier. And I'll be able to try to actually demonstrate this on this game, because these guys are playing Asmania White Force, which means I could actually use a couple of my cards, of my Super Poly targets. Like, I got Saint Asmania right here as well. So just easy, just 4K attack, beat stick, and they can't target their own cards for stuff, which is also useful. I already have Ankh in hand. I probably won't do it, but I could also technically just go into Snake Eyes Doom Dragon with my own monsters, because while it's meant to be like for Snake Eyes, setting it like in a Diabellstar. And is Diabellstar a no, they don't have Diabellstar. And she's a spellcaster, not an illusion, right? So yeah, you're supposed to go into like that kind of archetype deck. You know what I'm talking about. To like go into Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, but it's any monster cards a spell card, so I don't think Centurions work, because they are technically like, aren't they traps or continuous traps? But Millennium Monsters do, because they're counted as continuous spells, and so do what are they called? Suijin and stuff like that. Suijin, the Gate Guardian pieces. They're counted as continuous spells when on the field or the spell trap card zone. So funnily enough, they can go there, but you're honestly then better off just going into their stuff. But anyway, like, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and like cut it off here, but like, actually no, I'm not. I want to try to at least show you this during this duel, but that's it. About how it works better going second, because like these guys are going through full combo, but one super polymerization will be able to kind of disrupt all that. And if I were to say draw Lava Golem as well, Lava Golem or Kaiju, that'd also be able to help even the playing field. But actually, no, I don't know. If they don't end their turn fairly soon, I'm probably just gonna cut in. Like, I don't know. Like I said, and probably just end the video. Yeah.